welcome to another video. Today is another sketchbook tour. You guys know how it goes, but it's a little bit different this week. Last week I showed you guys my sketchbook that took me 2 years to finish, and this is another sketchbook I have. I've been working in it for 2 years. The only difference from this one and that one is that this one is not finished. It's not even a little bit finished. I've done about 22 pages of work in this sketchbook, and it's got about 100, which is super fun. This is actually a Ohuhu marker sketchbook. It's very thick, and the paper is very thick. It's nice paper. It's good paper. It's just super thick, and I decided that when I bought this, I wanted it to be my finished artwork sketchbook, pretty much. So all the artworks in here are intended to be completely 100% rendered, finished, completed, whatever you want to say about it. They're all supposed to be finished illustrations, and as such, they do take a long time to finish. And so, I started this sketchbook July of 2022, and as of right now, May of 2024, there are only about 20 or 19 finished pages in here. So yeah, we're gonna flip through them. This sketchbook tour is not gonna be very long, just because, like I said, it's not a finished sketchbook. And also it's kind of like, I don't know. I just wanted to do a sketchbook tour of it because this sketchbook will probably either never be completed or take me about I don't know, several years to complete. It's already been 2 years since the beginning of the sketchbook. I don't really draw this big anymore. This is either an 8.5 by 11 or a 9 by 12. I don't really draw this big anymore. I have finished a couple of drawings in it lately. You saw them on Wednesday. I finished 2 drawings in here. But yeah, I'm not sure how much of it I'm actually gonna finish. So I figured, let's just go ahead and flip through it. The old sketchbooks, I was gonna do sketchbooks 23 and 24, but I was flipping through them and I was like, there's jack shit in these. So instead, we're just gonna do this one, and it won't take us that long. Promise. I mean, I don't think it's gonna take that long. Like I said, there's not very many drawings in it, but since there's not very many, I'm going to talk about them a little bit more. So let's just jump into it. Our very first drawing is a drawing of a summertime Medusa. I decided to do this because it was summer. And I was like, well, I wanted to draw Medusa. I can't remember exactly why I wanted to draw a Medusa, but I did want to draw a Medusa. Or technically, I guess a Medusa is not the correct word. The correct word would be a Gorgon. But I don't think all Gorgons have snake for hair. I actually think for Gorgons, they just have like snake bodies typically, right? I'm not sure, but I guess technically she would be considered a Medusa because she has snakes for hair. The snakes are actually very low detail, just because at the time I did not know how to draw snakes. I still 100% don't know how to draw snakes, but I feel like I am more willing to look up a reference for a snake than I was back then. Like I said, this is from July 13, 2024. And I was like, I'm not looking up fucking snakes. I'm lazy. I don't want to look up snakes. And so they kind of look like snakes, but they also kind of don't look like snakes. I feel like maybe if I just put a little bit more detail into the eyes, I could have bought that they were snakes. But yeah, I still really like this drawing. I think it's really cute. It's one of my favorite drawings I've ever done. This is actually my phone background currently. Well, one of my phone backgrounds. But yeah, it's my background for my phone. Just because I had a different background for my phone for a while, and then I was like, maybe I should actually have some artwork that I did. Like, my phone background was artwork that I did, but it was not of a character. It was a draw this in your style that I really liked. And I was like, well, maybe I should do it of something that is something I originally designed. And so I decided to make this my phone background. I really like the color palette for it. It was really cute. And also, I really like the coloring of her skin. I feel like this is really where one of the pieces where I really got into the swing of how I like to color skin. I'm not entirely sure if I still color skin like this. I've just recently gotten back to coloring with markers, and so I'm not really 100% back to this place quite yet. This is around the time where I was consistently drawing with markers, and so yeah, I really like this piece. It's very cute. The color scheme is very cute. Her face is very cute. Maybe just the only thing I could complain about, truly, other than the snakes, is that it doesn't really look like she's drinking out of the straw. It just looks like it's in her mouth. But other than that, I think it's very cute. Okay, so moving on to the next one. This is a  demon boy. I think you guys saw this. I posted this as a reel. and he is specifically a Dekoraki Harajuku style demon. Dekoraki is just basically a type of Japanese street fashion that is defined by bright colors and tons and tons of accessories, right? I feel like for him, he is not super Harajuku at not Harajuku, very Dekoraki at all. He's got like some of the motifs. So he's got like the stickers, he's got a band-aid, he's got some jewelry, but it's honestly truly, if you guys have ever seen Dekoraki, it's like tons and tons and tons of shit. And so I wanted to do that, but personally for me, I am not a super detail oriented artist. I try to add details and it makes me want to cry just because I'm like, this is taking so long. And for someone who likes to do art, I really like to complain about how long it takes me. I'm a very slow artist, and as such, if I had to add more stuff to like add the process, I'd get like, I don't want to do it. And so I do think he turned out really cute. The background, I'm sort of like on, you know. I'm not a background artist. I don't really do backgrounds. Mostly people that I draw are in like a void or like a bunch of colors in the background. Like you saw the previous one, she's just surrounded by a bunch of lemons for like the aesthetic. I don't really do backgrounds, and so for this I was like, I don't know what to do. We'll just do random circles. That makes sense, right? No, the random circles don't really make sense if we're being honest. They're like, what is that? But that's okay. But other than that, I still really like him. I think he turned out really cute. I would like to redraw this currently. I'm not sure if I'm at the place where I can do that. I feel like if I try to draw it again, it's just gonna look worse. And so I have to like go into it, plan it beforehand, and do it again. Actually, honestly, truly, I probably will want to redraw everything in this sketchbook just because some of it's from 2 years ago. And so if something is sometimes if it's even like a month old, I'm like, I should do that again. I don't need to do it again. I don't know why I feel like I should do it again. But my mind is like, you can fix it now. You can make it better. It's like, give it some breathing room, guy. I mean, this is 2 years old now, so maybe I can do it again. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Because imagine, like, I draw something in here, and then, like, you flip through, like, a couple pages, and it's the same drawing again. Like, come on, guy. Give it some space, you know? Okay, our next drawing. This is a drawing of, it's actually fan art of Moral Oral. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Moral Oral. A couple years back, I watched it for the first time through. When I was a kid when it was airing, and so I would catch sorts of glimpses and stuff of it during Adult Swim. I know kids should not be watching Moral Oral. Kids really should not have been watching Adult Swim, but we had a TV in our room, me and my sisters, and so we watched TV at night. We would fall asleep with the TV on, and sometimes we would wake up and you'd be like, oh, it's Bleach, or you'd be like, oh, Moral Oral's on, and you'd like catch a couple of scenes of it, and then you'd fall back asleep, you know, when you're a child. But I watched it a few years back, and I really liked it. Super sad. I mean, the sad parts are sort of kind of the best parts of Moral Oral. And when I say the best, I don't mean like, oh, they make me feel nice or whatever. I just mean like they're the most poignant. They make the most statements, I guess. The funny parts, I never really thought Moral Oral was super funny. And sometimes there are shows that are like comedy based that I like, not because of their humor, but because of like the dramatic parts, which is weird to say because I am not a person who likes dramatic things. But I do think that adding humor and comedy together typically sometimes makes for like the most poignant source of stories. So the idea behind this piece was to sort of incorporate some of the more some of the religious trauma that Oral experiences throughout the series. So basically the symbolism behind this is so he's got a halo and it's sort of disintegrating, and then in behind him and forcing his mouth into a smile is his father, because his father wants him to pretend like things are sort of kind of the same. And there's like part of the story where his father wants him to still act the same way he did before. He put him through like the trauma of, I don't want to spoil it for you guys because I think it's a really good show that you should watch if you're like open to that sort of thing. Like it does, like I said, it does talk a lot about like religion and stuff like that. So if you have like stuff with religion that you don't want to get into, or other serious topics, I probably wouldn't recommend it to you. But if you don't really have issues with that, I think that it's like a super deep cut into like sort of middle America and like the religious communities there and stuff. And so his halo is breaking because Oral has sort of this issue towards the end of the series of wondering how he's supposed to honor God when he doesn't feel like he should honor his father because he sees his father for the man that he is and stuff. And he's wearing the flannel because if you watch the show, when he's wearing the flannel, a very significant thing happens to Oral that sort of shakes his faith in religion and stuff like that. Not his faith in God specifically, but his faith in his father, which affects his relationship with God. And so, yeah, that's sort of the thought process behind this one. This is actually a redraw of a piece that I did before. Same idea, but a little bit different execution. In the original one, you could see the hands of his father, but behind him was sort of this like dark background, and it felt like it really brightened up the halo previously. I feel like this one is probably a better depiction of like theme for like the story because you can see clearly that it is his father, and then the dark background previously didn't really add anything other than to emphasize his halo. And so if I was going to do this again, I'd probably just make that green a bit darker to emphasize the halo, because the cracking of the halo is pretty significant, because it's sort of what's it called, depicts like Moral's sort of loss of innocence when it comes to his religion. I put a lot of thought behind this Oral fan art. I don't know if that makes it good, but I at least put thought into it, I guess. That was the thought process behind that one. Now we're on to something a little bit more lighthearted. This is just another summertime Medusa. Summer was kind of winding down to a close, so I wanted to do another summertime Medusa. And so here's the thing. I really like the design of this girl. I think she looks very cute. What I don't like is the colors and also this hand. The hand is actually very well drawn. I feel like, in my opinion, I use my own hand as reference, but what I don't like is it's too far in the center and it's angled too much. So I would have turned it a little bit more and just put her little creamsicle closer to her face. And I feel like she's holding the creamsicle, but she's not really super interacting with it in a sense, right? Like she's holding it, but like it's melting. Like, girl, you gotta eat the damn thing, okay? So it's like a little bit too much, like pretty and like not enough expression for what sort of kind of oh my god going on in the picture with the popsicle, in my opinion. I still think it's very cute. I think like the yellow and the orange and the brown and the green is all a little bit too much. The very first color palette that I did, she had her skin tone right, and then she had the yellow, the blue, and the pink. And I feel like yellow, green, orange, brown does not really go together as much. If I was going to do this again, I'm not sure what I would change about the color palette because I still want orange creamsicle vibe. I think I would have, I don't know, because orange creamsicle is just orange and white, and there's only so much you can do with that. And so if I was going to do this again, I'd have to think about it a little bit more. I think maybe if I was going to do like the orange, if I was going to do the yellow and the green, I'd maybe change what she's eating to maybe, I don't know, something else. Maybe lemons, but I was like, the other one was lemons. And so it's like strawberry lemonade, and then also like with a little bit of blue. And so I don't know, I think it's something else. I just don't like the color palette for this one. This is really my main hang up with this one, is the color palette. A drawing of a girl, but her head is inside a rose. I don't remember the thought process behind this one. I just remember doing it, and I'm not really someone who's very good at drawing flowers. I tried to practice. Obviously, this is one drawing of me trying to practice, but you know what I think it is? Partially is I feel like if I just made it the head, it would have been cool. Something about adding the hand and this black space here, but I didn't plan it out very well is the problem. I should have shifted it down a little bit more, and then the whole page could have been petals. That's my issue. And then I colored in the petals, and I feel like the petals looked nice. And then I added this white highlight, and I was like, does this make it look like meat? I've gotten comments on my Instagram where it's like, no, it doesn't look like meat. But I'm like, I don't know. Something about it makes me feel like it looks like meat. I still like it. I would have preferred it, I think, without, like I said, without the hand, without this black part, and without the hair, actually. I would have kept the eyebrows, but I want to maybe make the petals cover up the hair, just so it feels a little bit more otherworldly. Kind of like the flowers in Alice in Wonderland that have faces, but like with like an actual human face coming out of the center. I don't know. And then for a while, I just remembered, I was trying to do this thing where I had like this heart-shaped mole. The other girl had it too, let me see. She has it too. That was gonna be like my signature thing, and I stopped doing it. Oof. I still do hearts on the cheeks, but they're the highlights instead now. I still do really like that. I might bring it back. I don't know. I doubt it. But maybe. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is a piece of a girl. She's like alternative, and she's so the whole part with the knife. Hopefully this doesn't get flagged. It's not a real knife. It's pretend. It's just a drawing, you guys. It's okay. It was supposed to be pointed at her chest. I say it's just pretend, and then all of a sudden I'm like, she was pointing at her chest. A little bit intense. But I couldn't get the angle of the hands right, and so it's not really pointed at her chest so much as she's just holding it. It's supposed to be angled in a bit more. I really super don't like looking at this drawing too much. Not because I think it's bad, but because when I was drawing this, my dog died. And so when I look at it, it makes me sad, which I guess is kind of poignant because she's also crying. But I don't really like looking at it too much, so we're gonna go past that one. This is a drawing of Hope. It was supposed to be like him in his semi-demon form. And I was trying to practice using gray tones, and I wanted to do limited color palette with like a pop of color. I was doing these during October, as sort of like a Halloween thing. But I didn't really like this drawing because I felt like the arm looks bad and the angle of his face looks weird. And his locks don't look very good either. They look kind of like, he makes it kind of look like the Predator. No offense to the Predator, he's got great drip, I guess. I never seen any of the Predator movies. Not my thing. But yeah, not really the look I was going for. I look at it now and I still don't like it. It's not the worst thing ever. Mostly I would just change the placement of that arm, and I think that would not be so bad. So yeah. And actually it's probably where I started adding the white highlights under the eyes. So I like this piece for that. Oh, trigger warning for blood before I flip the page. There is a little bit of blood in this sketchbook. Okay, so it's going to be on this next page, and it's going to be on another page. So I'm going to tell you right now, this next page is going to have blood on it. Okay, don't be afraid. And if you have like a thing with blood, skip this page. Okay, I'll tell you when you can come back. Alrighty. So here's the page with blood. This is another drawing of Hope I decided to do. I actually like this one better than the other one, probably because it's a front-facing view. You guys know, front-facing view is my favorite view, and the other one was 3/4, so not really my vibe. Again, it's another one of Hope in his half-demon form where he's got the eyes and the horns, but with blood. I don't remember why I wanted to draw him covered in blood. I don't really super like the rendering of this blood. I feel like now I could do it a lot better. But at the time I liked it. I don't like it anymore now though. Yeah. I really like the way I did the eyes then. I was experimenting with this eye coloring style. I did it again in my video on Wednesday. I kind of went back to it because I forgot how much I like it. I really like, it's like the outline, like the outside is shaded and the inside is a little bit lighter, and then the pupil is like the darkest part. I stole that from somebody on Instagram. I was like, the way they do eyes is so nice. I'm gonna do that. And so when artists tell you that you should steal, that's kind of what they mean. I was like, wow, because they uploaded a process video and they showed how they color in their eyes. I was like, yoink, that's mine now. I don't really do it anymore just because the drawings I do are not as big, and it's really hard to do it on small drawings. Personally, for me, it's hard for me to do that on smaller drawings just because it's like a lot of detail and you have to go back and forth and you have to blend, and you have to make sure you have enough space so where like the difference in shade makes sense and you can see it. It's very hard to do when it's little, and so I stopped doing it because I stopped doing big pieces. But I feel like when I'm in this sketchbook, I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna go back to it because I just think it's really cute, a really cool way of coloring eyes. I don't really see a lot of people do it, but also I just feel like it looks really nice, personally. Okay, this is a drawing of Levi with his old design. Their old design was like their eyes were covered, and their new design, he has like this like mask thing over his eyes. I really wanted him to not have eyes for a while, just because I felt like it was a cool design, just to have something going on with his eyes. Now I decided to change this just because it's really hard when you're making a comic to have someone not be able to emote. Eyes and eyebrows are a lot of emoting, and so just emoting with his mouth would be really hard. And plus, since they are like a sort of neurotic character, they were going to be emoting a lot, and not having eyes or eyebrows was going to be really hard to do that. And so all these black and white ones I did for October for like Halloween vibes, so like they're all in like Halloween costumes. And so since Levi is an alien, I made him like a spaceman, and they've got their little spaceman gun. I was like, oh, it's so cute. And then the little pop of color is the green there, right? I really like this drawing still. I still think it's very cute. Unfortunately, it's just not their design anymore. So yeah, before we flip, the next page does have blood on it, significantly less than the last one, but still a little bit of blood, okay? So we're coming. All right, so this is the boss as a vampire. I don't dislike this drawing, but it's not my favorite of the Halloween drawings I did. He does look a little bit like a vampire. He's got the teeth and stuff and the blood. I don't know, something about the drawing that I don't like. When I posted it on Instagram, I think combined with like the song, it made this one actually the most popular out of all of the reels I posted for the Halloween drawings, which made me kind of sad because it's my least favorite of all the Halloween drawings I did. And it's also the least ambitious one. Unfortunately, you'll see in a second, the other ones are a little bit more ambitious, but I felt like this one is just super simple, and it was like just a little bit of blood, nothing super spectacular or anything, and people like this one the most, and I was like, oh, I don't even like that one. So yeah, I still like it, but like I said, it's not my favorite out of the bunch. So this is the last, no, that's not true. I was gonna say this is the last one with blood on it, but that's not true. All right. Next drawing, so this is James. So this is what I said. This is what I meant when I said a little bit more ambitious, because I am not a person who is good at lighting, right? But I want to try and get better. And so at the time, I was like, let's do something with lighting. His costume was that he was like a witch or a wizard, and so this was him using the magic that was accompanying his like Halloween costume, basically. I don't know. There's no story behind these illustrations. They're just supposed to be for fun, like for Halloween costumes and stuff. And so this was him as a witch / wizard, and the magic is there too. And so I was like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if like the magic was like bright lights and then it was like casting light on him? And I was like, yeah, that is super cool. And so I did the coloring, and I was like, one, it was a pain in the ass, and two, I was like, oh my god, it looks so nice. I felt like it looked nice. I still feel like it looks nice. I tried to recreate this, and I was like, I don't know how the fuck I did this in the first place, and now I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. The lighting is good on the hands. I feel like really good on the hands. On his face, not so much. I feel like it doesn't really translate that the light is here, right? But his face is like in shadow. Like, I feel like it doesn't make sense, personally. I would try again, because I don't know. I still like this one. I feel like it looks very nice. I really like the way his eyes turned out. It's that same eye coloring style because I have the space for it. But yeah, overall, I like it. Pretty good. Now moving on to the next one. This is John and Jane Doe as Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster, just for fun. This one is actually my favorite out of the Halloween drawings. I feel like it came out the best. I might be biased because it's green, and green is my favorite color. But I do feel like it turned out the best. I don't know. I feel like it turned out the best. I think they look really cute here. This was John Doe's design. This is the design where he has locks. Him and Hope have locks. They're a little bit different. I might change his into twist, so that way I don't really have to change too much of the design, because I actually really like this design. I think it looks really cute. And I really like the headband. And I'm like, maybe if I make them twist, it'll be like the same shape, but not exactly the same hairstyle, and I can keep it around. And I did a little bit of lighting here too, for like with the Tesla coils. But the lighting is not really indicative of the lighting of the characters. And so I feel like this drawing is a little bit better with the lighting, but I still really like this one a lot. I don't know, I just feel like they all turned out super cute. And of course the green is my favorite. And I feel like the shading came out really well on like his chest area, which is a weird thing to point out, but I feel like it really did turn out good. Okay, trigger warning, this next drawing has blood on it, and I definitely think this is the last one that has blood on it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so this is a redraw of a drawing. This is a girl I draw like pretty much once a year. You guys know I like to redraw stuff, and so I have like 4 or 5 ongoing redraws that I do annually. This is one of them, and this is actually the second time. Is it the second time I drew it? No, I think this is the 3rd time. Yeah, because I drew it once. Yeah, this is the 3rd time. People did not like this one as much as the second one, and I kind of see why, personally, but I still like it. I don't know. I felt like it was really cute at the time. I think maybe it was because her face was a little bit more wide and it was significantly less detailed. The second one was I was going through a period where I was like, oh, let's add some more detail to stuff. And I was actually trying to put detail, and at this point I was like, fuck that. No, because I actually made this drawing at the same time I was doing the Halloween drawings. I was putting them out like not once a week, but like a little bit more than once a week, just because there's like 4 or 5 Halloween drawings, 5 or 6. And so yeah, I was doing at the time I was posting daily, and so I would do like little shitty one-offs for most of the day, and then once a week I would do like a full piece, and so it was kind of burning me out, and so I was like, I have to get this one done for this week, so fuck it, no details, and so I got rid of them. I still like the drawing. I think it's better than the second one that I did, because the mouth on the second one way too fucking wide, you guys. But yeah, I still like this one. I redrew it again, but I didn't post that shit because I did not like it. I fucked it up right at the end. I felt like it looked good, and then right at the end I fucked it up, and I was like, god damn it, so I never posted it. So don't ask me to see it. That's just gonna be in my archives for me personally. Uh-oh. Okay. So I said this was my finished artwork sketchbook, and that is true. Okay, so everything that goes in here is intended to be a finished artwork. I'm not finished with this one yet. It's a work in progress, but eventually I'm going to finish it. I just not had the motivation to do it. But now that I see it here, hopefully, I can do another video what's like finishing 3 drawings in one video or something. And I'm gonna force myself to finish it. It's just that the lighting for this one is kind of ambitious because it's got like a halo, and I wanted like the tears to be gold, and that's like so much stuff, you guys. Like, it's so much. I can't force myself to do it right now. And so I'm gonna finish it eventually, I promise. Just, I still really like the sketch. I really like the face. It's gonna be an angel. And also another reason why I'm putting it off is because it has like 8 pairs of fucking hands. And because I did that because it's like angels, like biblically accurate angels are like a bunch of hands, they're a bunch of eyes, they're a bunch of spinning wheels. I don't want to do spinning wheels personally. I do like lots of hands and lots of eyes, and so I was gonna do that. But it's like, it's so much to draw like just 1 pair of hands. Imagine drawing 8. Ugh. So yeah, I can't force myself to draw it right now, unfortunately. Alright, here's another drawing. Another drawing that I didn't finish. Okay, here's the thing about this one. I'm like 80% sure I'm gonna rip it out of the sketchbook. I don't want to rip it out of the sketchbook because I want it to just, this part, it's perforated, so it'll come out, but it'll leave that one edge, and they'll be like, oh, so you didn't finish the whole sketchbook. You actually ripped the page out. And I'd be like, and so I kind of want to just finish it, to say that I did finish it. But it's been so long, I don't know what colors I used for this. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. And I didn't want to do it because, like I said, the last one, it had very ambitious lighting. Like, this is a halo and a leer, and those are going to be glowing. And I was just like, I don't know. I didn't really like the way the drawing was turning out. I didn't like the sketch, and then I inked it anyway. You guys, don't ink a sketch that you don't like. Work on it some more. Take a break. And so I don't really like the drawing, and so I'm like, oh, this is my finished sketchbook. I gotta finish it, right? But I just don't want to. And so hopefully I'll get to the point where I'm like, fuck it, we ball, and I just finish it and be like, it might be ugly, but it's done. Okay, so I'm building up the courage to do that. So yeah. Alrighty, this is my annual New Year's redraw. This is the 2nd time I drew it, I believe. This is Hope and this is James. I usually draw them for New Year's. I did it one time for 1 year, and then I was like, what if I did it again? Just because I think I did it the first time because I wanted to draw them more. I wanted to draw my OCs more during the year. I failed that year, but yeah. I do draw them more now, so I feel like you guys have seen the one that I drew for this year, right? It's the very first drawing on my channel. So yeah, you see this was from 2023, I believe. Yeah, so you saw that. Look, I did like majority of these in 2022, and there's like 4 or 5 after this. Not very many. I'm really slowed down on drawing finished artworks. So this is a drawing of Hope. This was supposed to be his either full demon form or half demon form. You guys saw me talk about this on Wednesday's video. I don't really have much to say about it. His skin is too light. I don't really have enough oranges to give him the skin tone that I wanted. I feel like I wasn't super trying when I did this just because I could see the pencil lines underneath. And so I'm like, I didn't even erase the pencil. I guess I really didn't care about it that much, which makes me feel kind of bad. One day I hope to design a full demon form for Hope that I like. I'm just not at the point yet, unfortunately. Here was another drawing I never finished. I'm planning on finishing it. I just don't know when. It's a redraw of this demon girl. The reason why I haven't finished it is because when I was sketching it, I was getting sort of kind of discouraged because I didn't like the way her face was coming out. I think that the face is the very most important part of a drawing. And so if the face is not looking right, I'm like, ew, scrap the whole thing. Gross. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And so, yeah, I just had to figure out a way to get the face right. But for now, it's on hold. This is another unfinished drawing, but this one actually is going to be scrapped. In that, I'm going to erase this sketch completely because I finished the sketch digitally. This is a redraw of the Hope and James New Year's piece. I sketched this out initially, and I was like, I'll just take it digital and finish it off there. I don't know why I didn't want to finish it in my sketchbook. This is actually from this year, of earlier in January. I just didn't want to finish it on paper. So I was just like, and also I think I didn't have time to finish it on paper. I was like, I'm running out of time. I wanted this to be the video for the first year, for the first video for the year. And so I was like, do it digitally. The thing is, it's not exactly faster to do it digitally, but it's a little bit simpler because I don't do as much rendering digitally as I do on paper. And so I was like, just get it done. And so I'm just going to erase this and put something else there, which kind of sucks because I really like this sketch. I finished the drawing. It's there digitally. And so it's like, if I erase it, it's not like it actually disappears. I have a copy of it. It exists in that digital file. I don't know. I still feel weird about it, but I am going to erase it because this is a finished artwork sketchbook and this is not finished, and I'm not redrawing that drawing. I'm just not doing it. Oh my gosh, it's our third unfinished drawing in a row. Listen, you guys, I swear this is my finished artwork sketchbook, but I haven't been very motivated to do finished pieces, and so it's taking me a while. Please don't bully me about it. This is actually a drawing of Umiko. You guys know Umiko. She's actually one of those OCs that I decided to draw for a contest for I'm a Wonder. But I was like, well, I drew like the character ones, so I was like, I should probably draw like some more like illustration type things to put with the character stuff. I never finished this. I did not finish this in time. And so also it was supposed to be Umiko after or during a fight, and so she's gonna have a bloody nose. But then I was like, oh wait, I'm a Wonder said she didn't want anything that was not family friendly. And I was like, blood is not super unfamily friendly, but also things with lots of violence are PG-13. And so PG-13 is not exactly family friendly. So I scrapped the idea. I am going to finish this eventually, obviously, because this is a finished sketchbook. Just not yet. Also, I felt like her face was off. And you know me, if the face is off, I don't want to do it. So I have to fix the face. Alright, this is a finished drawing. You guys already saw me do this one. I've talked about it already on Wednesday. And also last week. The week before Wednesday. This is my drawing of... what's his name? Valentine, one of my OCs, but him as a fairy king. I don't really have too much to say about it. Other than that, it doesn't have a background yet. I do plan on giving it a background, so technically this isn't a finished piece, but it is a finished piece. I'm probably just going to color the background green or something, or make it like a pillar. I don't know yet. But, yeah, it's pretty much done. And this is the last one in here, is a drawing of... what's her name? Oh my gosh, Kira. I don't know why. I have so many OCs. I can't remember their names, okay? Don't get mad at me. This is her using a pink color palette. I wanted to do something simple, like a color palette challenge, and I just wanted to use all pinks, which was the thought process behind this. Drawing's not super exciting. I feel like she looks cute here. I feel like her face is a little bit off. It doesn't exactly look like how I typically draw her. I feel like mostly it's the lips, and there's no background just because I don't have a dark enough pink to reasonably make the background dark. So I have to find a pink that looks nice as a background color that is still sort of kind of more of a cool pink than a warm pink because it's a cool pink toned drawing. So yeah, that's the last one in here, you guys. That's the whole sketchbook. And I have literally so many pages I still have to fill up. Like, look at that. It's not exactly 100 pages. I said 100 pages earlier. That was an exaggeration. It's like 60 pages left. And so this sketchbook is either not going to get finished or it'll take me very long to get finished with it. So I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I would say it's more like a sketchbook check-in. Maybe that makes more sense because we're checking in with my sketchbook. It's not a tour because it's not done. We're just checking in, seeing how she's doing, right? Yeah, so that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.